on, Foxy. It's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
What's going on, everybody? It's me, Mark, and welcome back to another episode of Blerdkast Live. And today's going to be a fun one. It's one I've been working on and planning for a minute, and we're going to have some fun. So if you are a cosplayer, if you are someone who's looking to get into cosplaying for the first time, if you are a cosplaying veteran, if you are into crafting, or if you're into just spending your adult money on buying cosplay, this is the episode for you because we are doing Cosplaying While Black live. And before we begin, I would like to go ahead and introduce my guest for this episode, starting with Miss B. Cunningham.
Hello, everyone. Per usual, I'm B. Cunningham, and you can catch me on all platforms at B. Cunningham Cosplay, award-winning cosplayer at night and insurance adjuster by day.
Okay, perfect. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself, Joe.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Joy Stevens. I am available for shenanigans across Threads and Instagram as Joyride08.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead and to my top corner. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir.
Okay, what's up? What's up, everybody? I am Uwu Papi, the best tank in the world because no one can stop me. And I'm just a guy just love the cosplay. Just that simple.
Okay, perfect. And over to my left, Mr. Smoove Cosplay.
What's up, everybody? Smoove Cosplaya here, your favorite salsa dancing cosplayer, IT person during the day, salsa bachata dancer instructor at night, also voice actor, dad, husband, all them things.
Perfect. And over to my right, Mr. Aquarius. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
What's going on, y'all? Aquarius taught me here. Just your neighborhood psychotic genius. I'm a senior coordinator for Warner Brothers Discovery, and I've been cosplaying for about 8 years now.
Perfect. So perfect. Now, I'm so happy that I've assembled everybody here together in some shape, way, form, or fashion. Everybody here is a cosplayer, whether you're a beginner like me, I'm in my first year of cosplaying, or you're an expert like Aquarius, or like Smoove Cosplay, or like even B. Cunningham, for example, or even Uwu Papi. Like all of y'all are like extraordinary cosplayers in your own right. Some of you have been guests at different conventions. Some of you have done other things. Some of you, like Smoove Cosplayer yourself, the salsa dancing cosplayer, you are known for certain things when you go to different conventions. So I wanted to assemble this prestigious panel of cosplayers together so we can let the world know that you should be honored. Like you all have done such great work. Like every single last one of you have memorable cosplays that's just personally my favorite, but also like just the different stories of how you got into cosplay, why you cosplay, how you incorporate cosplay into your life. Like you, every single last one of you have personally inspired me to finally step out there and get behind the camera, get from behind the camera and get into some cosplay. And I've been doing it and I've been loving it every step of the journey from beginning to end. And I just want to talk about it with not only you, but everybody, because we all cosplay and we do it because we love it. If we didn't love it, we wouldn't do it. So before we begin, before we begin, I would like to say, if you haven't already, please subscribe to Moana Nui podcast and Blerdography so you can get more creative, blerdy content like this if you haven't already. And please leave a like on this video so we know we can make more content catered to you. But before we begin, I'd like to ask my first question just to everybody. Where did you come up with your cosplay name? If you haven't, if you have one, and if you haven't, why not? Let's start with start with Stephanie.
Okay. Mine is actually very simple. So the B in my name actually stands for bunny. It's the name that's engraved on the inside of my wedding ring. So that literally is just my name, B. Cunningham Cosplay.
Okay. And Joy, what about you?
I hadn't picked a cosplay name because I like my handle for as Joyride08. A lot of people misunderstand it because they're nasty and they want to, but from the time that I was like had my first bite and was able to get like the little sticker license plate and it said Joyride, and I always wanted a car that had Joyride or Joyride08 as the license plate, and that cost money, and I didn't want to spend that kind of money, and so when PlayStation and Xbox started giving people gamer tags and whatnot, I picked it finally as my identity, and I've been rocking with it ever since. So yeah, I might be Joyride08 cosplay or something, but for now, that's my name.
Okay, what about you, Uwu?
All right, so I recently just changed it like a couple of years ago. I first got into the cosplay scene as Paladin Van. Changed the name because I really didn't want my government name out there. I really wanted to separate, that life into my personal life. So I went with Uwu Papi because I just want people to look at me and say Uwu Papi. Just that simple.
Yes.
Okay.
Crazy.
Okay, we're gonna get into that a little bit, but everybody else, go ahead, Smoove.
All right. So many moons ago, when I first started trying to like be a salsa instructor, I was thinking of like, what is my website name going to be? All of that. So I thought about like, what was the most consistent compliment I got on my dancing, and it was always smooth, right? And a lot of other male salsa dancers, they're known for being like really flashy and flamboyant and like super machismo, all of that. Me, it kind of my dancing matches my. I think that's the case for everybody. Everybody's dancing matches their personality. I've always been kind of laid back and chill and all that kind of stuff. So that was always that's what came out of my dancing, and that's what people always complimented me on. So my website name was Smoove Salsero, which is Spanish for male salsa dancer. So when it came time to just make a cosplay page, I just swapped out Salsero for cosplayer. So that's where Smoove Cosplaya comes from.
Okay. What about you, Aquarius?
I would say mine is mainly just I wanted something that was kind of like the essence of me. I've been building cosplay for 8 years now. I watch tutorials sometimes, but there is like a lot of my work is like kind of just trial and error, especially when it comes to like the design phase. So I was like, you know what? I really want something that is a reflection of me. And I thought it was like kind of weird to like have like a name like, Keenan taught me. So I was like, I got to get a little bit more creative with this. So I was like, why don't I just use my zodiac sign? And it just flowed like really, really well. And I get questions on that like at times. So it stuck. And I was just kind of like, well, people like it, so I'm just gonna roll with it. And it's a reflection. So
Okay. I'm like Joy. I just started cosplaying myself, so I haven't really thought about a name. I do want it to be separate from what I'm currently doing with Blerdography and my podcast and my YouTube channel. So I'm like trying to take cues from everybody and just figure out like how to come up with it. I have some ideas. I've been told not to do those ideas for particular reasons, but I might end up doing it because I like puns. But that's just me. We'll see. The future is unpredictable. Who knows? But how long have each of you been cosplaying? Again, this has been my first year, and I've only cosplayed at 2 cons, and I've just flat out enjoyed myself. And like, I finally get it why people show up to conventions and just hang out and do photo shoots, and like I love every aspect of it. So I'm just curious, how long have each of you been cosplaying, and what is your favorite aspect of cosplaying?
Let's see. So I really started to actually cosplay in, I want to say 2016, 2017. But as far as actually making my own cosplays, that didn't start until about like 2018, 2019, when I actually started to build my own cosplays. So I'd say in total 8 years, but as far as actually building my cosplays, definitely definitely 2018, 2019.
Okay. What about you, Joy?
What was the question?
How long have you
How
been
long have you
cosplaying?
been cosplaying, and what is your favorite aspect about cosplaying?
I got so detailed in my brain about trying to figure out exactly what I was doing that I forgot the question that I was trying to answer while I was waiting. And yes, that's what I could remember, since 2021. So this was my 4th year doing cosplay. I hadn't really gotten into cosplay and cons and stuff before that, but I've been a nerd my whole life. And when I went to my first Dragon Con, it was eye-opening and very gratifying. And so in my very first one at Dragon Con was when I played Rogue, which I haven't done since. I got into Queen Charlotte because I was leaning into the gray. And I also, when I put myself together, I do actually kind of look like her. But Rogue is making a comeback next year.
I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Dean's List to do me a costume for real.
Nice.
Okay. What about you, Uwu?
First cosplay I did was 2016, I believe. Haven't been consistent as every year went by, but that's when I first got into cosplay. But I first started going to cons to 2015, and that's when I said I'm not going to cons no more. That's the year I said I'm not going to cons no more outside of not cosplaying.
Okay. What about you, Smoove?
So, wow, am I the oldest cosplayer here? 2012. Dragon Con of 2012. I had been seeing it for like about 4 years before that. I used to work right above where Peachtree Center Martyr Station is, where where everybody above the food court too, where everybody kind of hangs out at for Dragon Con. So for like 4 years straight, Labor Day would always sneak up on me, and I would always see the overflow of all the cosplayers outside when I went downstairs for my break, and I'm like, dang, I got to get in on this. So I finally put my foot down with myself in 2012. I had Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe as a Halloween costume a couple of years before. So I was like, okay, I got to go upgrade this. Back then I thought, okay, everybody's bringing their A game. You can't be slacking. You got to go big or go home. Don't really believe that anymore, but that was my mindset going into it. So, but that did inspire me to upgrade my costume, make it look better than it was. I went to Dragon Con just one day that year, and I was blown away, and I ain't looked back since. So going to Dragon Con and cosplaying both started in 2012.
Okay. Aquarius?
Yeah, so my first con was a Dragon Con. That was 2014. One of my very close friends, like, he was just like, hey, like, you want to go to Dragon Con? I didn't really know what to expect, but I wanted to get out of the house, and little did I know like that was gonna be like a pioneer, like, in who I am now. Shoot, I have been a nerd. I've been in the nerdy thing since I was like 5 years old, mainly because of my dad. And I feel like the last edge of it had to be cosplaying. So he took me to my first Dragon Con in 2014. I was so blown away, like, oh my God, like, what is this? How have I not been doing this for the last 10 years? But I had such a good time that I have been going back since. So yeah, that was 2014. So I've been going to cons for about 11 years now. But in 2018, that's when I like kind of started to build a lot of my own stuff, because I was commissioning people. I was like, dang, like, I'm paying like $500 for like this intricate outfit or whatever. I think
that is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm charging that. Well, I'm charging more now, but I started out charging around that price range now, so I get it. But I was just kind of like, you know what? I feel like that I can build this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like I stated on the last question, a lot of stuff was like trial and error. It was just me learning a lot of stuff. But at the same time, sometimes I go to YouTube University and I learn some stuff there. So, but it has been a journey and it's been a blast.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I know some of you if not all of you to some degree, have reached some level of maybe fame, pseudo fame, if you want to say, especially Aquarius, Uwu. I know you guys have like blown up on social media for one reason or another. So I just wanted to ask before we get into the main topics, like, what has been some of your experience been like cosplaying and like growing as a cosplayer? Everyone can answer this as well, but I know Uwu and Aquarius definitely have experienced this a lot.
Yeah. Oh, did you want to go first?
You go first, man. You go first.
All right. I have always been that kind of person where, like, I'm not gonna lie to you, like, a lot of the fame and everything is cool, but I'm more so like enjoying the craft. And I feel like that I'm always going to be that person, no matter how many followers that I get or how big that I get. I just genuinely care about the people and about the craft, because to be honest, like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your supporters. It didn't really hit me how much that my work was getting out there until I want to say 2023. MomoCon, they reached out to me 2023 and 2024, and they wanted me to be a like guest there. That was crazy to me. And then that same year in 2023, DragonCon, they reached out to me and they wanted me to compete. And I was like, I didn't even know that y'all knew of my work or anything like that. So that's crazy. And I won a trophy at that competition. So that was also crazy. And then thank you, Smoove. Thank y'all. But and then I have to say the beginning of this year, Kai Sinet's team, they reached out to me and I built his Arkham City Batman suit. That was in February. So and I'm in contact with like different cons now who we're, putting some like things together and everything. So it's just being a blessing. I'm hella thankful for all these opportunities, and I'm just continuing to grow, and I'm just connecting with people.
Okay. Uwu, I want to bring this question to you because I know personally firsthand you let's just go ahead and tell the story. You already know what I'm going to bring up. So just go ahead and tell the story.
So 2019, I went kind of viral with a cosplay. Did M'Baku from Black Panther. First did it at MomoCon. That was the very first con I wore it to. So that's kind of like a special. MomoCon is my first con I went to, and I had the outfit already made, and I was just like, I wouldn't really want to debut it here. I was close to just debuting at DragonCon. I said, let me just start off with MomoCon, because I really didn't think it was going to be as like impactful as it was. I thought that while I just wore it, I was just gonna get like a nice few pictures and just going on like how I've been cosplaying and been going to the cons the 4 or 5 years before that. After that weekend, I just saw like my notifications blew up. People from my hometown, like cosplay is not really big where I went to high school at and everything in my hometown, and seeing people messaging me and send me pictures of somebody else. Oh, a friend of mine saw you at the con, or my sister saw you at the con, and they love your cosplay. So seeing all these random messages, blowing up through all my social medias, that it was overwhelming, but it felt good at the moment. But I was not prepared though. I think I would never be misprepared for something like
that. That's
perfect.
Ladies loved him that day.
I was about to say that's why, because I remember that, like, because I was looking at you like, why does he look familiar? I don't know if we've ever met. And you said that, I was like, oh my God, I remember that. Yes, you did go viral.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And for our lovely engineer in the background, there you go. Perfect. There you go.
I appreciate the picture. I've never seen me look like that before.
Yeah, you
really? Because no, go ahead.
You look so much like him that if you like Google like M'Baku, there'll be a couple pictures of you in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that was the truth for like I guess a year after that picture was taken, especially the one at Dragon Con. Whenever you Google Winston Duke or M'Baku, it was that picture that showed up, like it was an actual picture of him. And at some point, I guess they had to take it down after like the internet realized it wasn't him. But like that picture blew up, like it went viral on the internet. Didn't you get get the talk with Winston Duke because like you look so much like him and it went that viral?
He replied to my story on Instagram. That's much. I'm very, very like nervous when it comes to interacting with people, especially like somebody like him that's an actor. Like when I was on the set of Black Panther, I walked by him like 3 or 4 times, and I wanted to ask him about did he get how he felt about all the notifications, because they was tagging him in like all my pictures, and I said if I ever see him, I was going to apologize to him, but like when I actually have the chance to see him on set, it was all the areas was always quiet. I really couldn't interact with him like I wanted to.
Wait, what set you get to see him on?
I was an extra in Black Panther too.
Oh, okay. Nice. That's what's up. Well,
you wasn't his stunt double, like clearly.
Yes. Okay, so Smoove Cosplaya, I know you have done a lot of things within the convention space. Mm-hmm. You conduct cosplay photo shoots with your all fighting game shoot and your Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter shoot, but you are known for doing your everlasting cosplay video shoot. And I finally got to be in the one you did at Dragon Con this year, and it made my day when I saw myself.
I'm glad it did, man. I'm like, I ain't nobody, and you excited about being in my video. I'm like, okay,
dude. It's like one of the things I look for after every Dragon Con is your everlasting cosplay shoot, just to see if I'm in it in the background. Like I do it for every like bodies video, just to see if I'm in the background somewhere, and I am a lot, but. Seeing myself in yours and being a cosplayer, it made my day. It solidified me as I'm really cosplaying now. It's not just taking pictures of you guys. I'm actually one of you guys, and I get it. Like I need to.
You're one of us now.
My photography, but we'll get into that part. But tell me about your video.
All right, so kind of being in the same position you're in, like always looking forward to seeing. What was the video that got me started with watching cosplay music videos? I think it was Beatdown Boogie's videos. I think they called it the really long Dragon Con video, something like that. It really long was in the name somewhere, right? So it was their 2015 one. So as I'm watching this, I'm like, this doesn't just look like a collection of cosplayers. It looks like I've been taken back to the con. Like it was a whole vibe. It was like it was an experience basically. So with their videos, and then also Cloudy McDoom back when he was Akio Boy, the Free Gamers, Mineral Blue, Justin Pineda, a whole bunch of other folks I can't think of right now. But like every time I watch their videos, I feel like I'm being transported back to the con. Like you get the whole party vibe, you get the whole cosplay vibe, all of that. So I started doing, I think in 2019, I did one called Mutants of Dragon Con. I basically just got a video of every X-Men cosplayer that I could find, right? And that was almost my first and last, because as I was doing the videos, I felt like I was a DJ who was also trying to dance to the music he was DJing. Like, you can't DJ a party and then come down out the booth and then go be on the dance floor. That's what I felt like I was doing too much, right? And then of course that was 2019, and then 2020 hit, and I'm like, dang, we got no cosplay this year, right? So the thing that, I mean, mentally I was fine. Mentally, physically, I was fine during COVID, but my geeky heart was hurting because there were no cons. And the thing that got me through 2020, geeky wise, was rewatching all the con videos, right? So that kind of inspired me to be like, you know what? I'm gonna try this again. This time I'm gonna just do everything. So I started with, did one for MomoCon, did one for Blerdcon, but then with Dragon Con, it was like, you get so much footage. Just like anybody who does anything with, that shoot was way too much fun. Mark, thank you for that. We killed that.
Thank you, because like sometimes you guys hit me up with ideas. And I'm like, I have no reference of what y'all talking about. But after doing the shoot or having the research for the shoot, I was like, oh, this was fun. But yeah, this was probably one of the more fun shoots I did over the weekend because of your creativity. You came to me with the idea and the concept, and I was like, you know me, you had me at cosplay photo shoot. So this was fun. I like a lot of your ideas actually were really fun. That's why I made the TikTok video that I made. And I was like, oh, it reminded me of that song a lot. So it was playing in my head while we were doing this. So this was fun.
Nice. You know, I got a tangent for a second. We got to thank Aquarius for this idea because many years ago, we all did a Final Fantasy shoot, and we had the idea of, you know, that meme where it's this dude walking with his girlfriend, and then some other girls walking back the other way, and he's like, "Who was that?" And the girls looking pissed off. So we all kept swapping back and forth doing. It's like there was one where Tifa's walking by, and Aerith is walking by, and he's walking with Tifa, and he's looking behind. But then there's one of me as Rude, and Tifa is looking at me. And so we just kept swapping back and forth with that. So that was the original of this. So I just kind of carried it on from there. So that this is the final one, probably.
I think that was Dragon Con 2019 too. Actually.
It was, yeah. It's 20. Why is 2019 always the big thing? It's like it was the one before the pandemic, right?
Yeah. That was a really good year too. That was a really good year for like cons and everything.
Indeed. No, I have to agree. A lot of magical things happened that year with all of us actually, because we all were there. And like so much momentum we had going into 2020, and then having to slow everything down to a screaming halt. 2019 Dragon Con was a magical year.
Yeah, indeed it was. But yeah, the music video, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, tried it again in 2022, and the reason why I call it Smoove's never-ending Dragon Con CNV is because my shit is long. It's like all of them are like 30 minutes, right? But the people who inspired me, theirs are always long. Like Beatdown Boogie, Akio Boy, all of theirs are like 25, 30 minutes. So I started out watching really long ones, and I remember back when I used to do cosplay interviews, like interviewing cosplayers, like my interviews kept getting longer and longer. And big shout out to Bar Fox Cosplay. He was encouraging me to like break them down into like 2 and 3 parts. But then I realized, like, if I break it down into 3 parts, the first one gets like maybe 100 or so views, then the second one gets 75, then the third one gets 2. So like, I'm like, if I'm doing all this work, I pretty much said, okay, this will probably be the one F-bomb for this video. I pretty much said, fuck y'all attention span. Like like if you're gonna watch what you're gonna watch, right? Like how many times do we sit there and listen to a podcast that's an hour, like watch anything else that's an hour? So I'm like, this is for the people who are like me, who will sit there and watch a con video for 30 minutes. If that ain't you, this video ain't for you. So I put that in the title, Smoove's never-ending cosplay music video, so you know what you're getting into before you click on it. Like, you see this thing is long. If this is not for you, just keep on scrolling. Don't come in my comments talking about this is too long, you should break it up. All right, well, scroll on then.
The algorithm will guide you. This video will find you.
Right, exactly. So I'm like, also with the really long ones, I'm like, the way Dragon Con is, if I make it 8 minutes, did I really capture the essence of the con?
No,
that's not even a full day.
Right. So I'm like, Dragon Con should be long. Like MomoCon, BlerdCon, those my videos for those end up being like 12 minutes, 15 minutes. But Dragon Con, I'm like, it needs to be long because you need to feel like you've been at the con, like looking at it through my eyes. So yeah, that's kind of how I came up with it.
Perfect. I am happy that you did, because like I said, it's one of the many videos I look forward to after a convention, just to see what I missed, because like you can do Dragon Con literally for 20 years and never see every inch of that con. So I instantly go to YouTube and like, all right, what did I miss? Even if I was there for something, I know I missed something, and every year it never fails.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, it was crazy. Like, you know, you say you would look to see if you're in the background. I can't tell you how many times I've been in the background of something or I can tell by who was in the shot, by how much I missed being in that shot by. I'm like, hold up, I was in that area like 2 minutes later, or I was in that area 5 minutes before.
If
like,
he had just panned this way,
right.
I would have been in the shot, or I'm right there over his shoulder, like, oh, I can't wait to see this.
Exactly.
That is awesome. So it seems like Dragon Con is a big convention for every single last one of us. All of us have a Dragon Con tail.
It's like an event for us all.
Well, yeah. There is an event there for us all.
No, I get what you're saying, like about it being a canon event, because it's one of the things where I can't imagine us all even doing what we do or being successful at it like we are without specifically Dragon Con. It's like an Atlanta thing. Yeah, so I get that. Mm-hmm.
No, 100% facts. There's an event there at Dragon Con that calls to all of us so well. I would be remiss if I don't mention this. Black Geeks of Dragon Con, we are doing a Cosplaying While Black episode, so I gotta just give them all the praise and honor that they deserve. But a lot of us have met and know each other specifically because of that photo shoot. And if it wasn't for that photo shoot, we all might still just be scattered to the wind at conventions and just kind of pass by each other and not know each other. But now we all have known each other for so long and are good friends. And we do the one thing that, I don't know if y'all have heard this, but I've heard this a lot, something that Black people don't do, and that's cosplay. So I'm very happy for Dragon Con and Black Geeks of Dragon Con and all the connections and networking and just prosperity things that convention has done. I mean, that organization has done. And this year was their 10th year anniversary. So I'm so happy for Channy, so happy for David and everybody that's a part of the organization, Latoya, Lee, all the photographers, all the videographers, all the amazing and stunning cosplayers. Like, again, I said it in last week's episode, when Black people cosplay, we don't be cosplaying. We show up and we show out. It's like church, it's like a cookout. It's amazing. So I just want to ask, because I saw this in the live chat, what cosplay are each of you best known for?
That is a very simple one for me. It was the first handcrafted cosplay I did, and it was actually my first craftsmanship award one. Everybody who's ever come across me, as soon as I mention Carnival Poison Ivy, they're like, "Wait, that's you? Oh my God!" And the conversation just goes from there.
Yeah, if you had said something different, I was going to call you a liar, because that's absolutely 100%. You know, for
also, no Viva Las Vegas, just Carnival Poison Ivy just went a little more viral. That's all.
Yeah, but absolutely. I mean, you know why? You know why? It was a very well crafted cosplay.
It was gorgeous. Yeah.
Thank you. I put a lot of love into that costume. I did. That costume was a true labor of love. I will probably never put that much into a bodysuit again, but there was a lot of love in that bodysuit.
No, please, like, the world needs to see more of that. Matter of fact, didn't Royalty Cosplay say her Phoenix cosplay was inspired by your Carnival cosplay?
She did say that. She did say I inspired the wings for her Phoenix cosplay. That is true. That is very true.
Okay. What about you, Joy?
The first cosplay I did as Rogue, I used my own natural hair, which is, nice curly afro, and I used like white acrylic paint to get the stripe in it. And it just so happened that was as my first cosplay, but for some reason, like New York Times was hanging out at Dragon Con, and that picture made it into the story that they did about Dragon Con in the magazine. So some people know me that way, but I think I am more recognized as Queen Charlotte. The first year I did it, I got a lot of people stopping me, want to take pictures, etc. And then I did it again, and it was even bigger. And so all I do is put the couple of moles here and get a big gray afro wig styled up. I tried to put a swan in it last time, but kept falling out. But the last Prince Queen Charlotte that I did was my first time actually doing some of the crafting myself. Like the dress that I started with, I had to, square out the neckline and add some things and some frills and stuff and add a little bit more jewelry to it. And I was like, oh my God, I'm really cosplaying. I didn't just buy this out the store. I actually did something along with the wig and hair. So yeah, I probably will bring Queen Charlotte black next year.
Yeah, I was about to say, bless you if you was building that gown from scratch, because historical gowns are not fun.
No, we started with an Amazon base and added to.
Okay. Ooh, what about you? What is your cosplay you're most known for? I guess we already covered that. That one.
It's definitely that one. That's the one that Afro Punk shared. It's the one that the picture you took too, that Afro Punk shared, and I think that's when I know I can't deny, about how big it was and how many people seen it.
Okay.
My goal is to top that though. My goal is to for not to be known for that cosplay. My goal is to be known for something else. I know it's a big hill to climb, but that's my goal right now.
But what would it be though? Like that in Baku, like again, you look just like him.
I'm like whatever you do, you don't look like Winston Duke doing something else. Like you.
I guess you better see what else Winston Duke is playing in.
I need Winston Duke to hop on a Final Fantasy, movie or something or something else, and I'll work with that.
He will make a good live action Barrett.
I would love that.
Hey, wait a minute. Actually.
Yeah,
you would.
Yeah, I'm here for this.
Yeah, 100%.
You should make that design, friend, and that way it'll inspire him to do it.
Y'all heard it here first. It happened.
Aquarius, what about you? What cosplay are you best known for?
I've done a lot of cosplays. I got a lot of honorable mentions from like the Power Rangers. I did Gambit last year. I would have to say like my most known would like probably be my Dick Grayson Robin. I won my first competition in that, and it was a worldwide competition too. I just entered just because I was like, you know what, like let's just see what happens, and I saw what happened, and it was great. But that's one of my favorite builds. Like that was around the time to like when I could kind of tell that my design skills were like, what would be the word, progressing, I guess. So I would have to say like that would probably be like my most known. It would either be between that one or my Firestorm, because that was the time to like when I had to get hella creative, because I obviously can't set my head on fire, so I have to be like super creative with that. So I got a bunch of LED lights, lined them up in the cowl, and I'm lucky that I have very like fine hair, and then the light just shine through. I added some red hair, I guess it's called hair paint to it, and then it gave kind of like a volcanic look to it. And I don't know if it went viral, but it got a crap ton of love though.
That's another thing about cosplaying while Black is our hair will do some things that other people can't do.
Very true.
That is so true. I'll put a pin in that because you said a lot of things I'm going to go back to. But I don't want to leave out Smoove Cosplaya, a man of literally 10,000 cosplays. Which one are you best known for?
Literally.
Probably my Django Fett, I would say. Actually, the helmet right here, that one. So I mixed up. It's funny, that was only my second cosplay ever. Like my second and third cosplays were both mashups. One day it just hit me. I was like, Django from Star Wars, Django Unchained. They're spelled differently but pronounced the same. They both are bounty hunters. One flies a ship called Slave. One used to be a slave. Color schemes are similar. Like if you take Django Unchained's that blue valet suit, you mean you want to wear that? That's right. So that one and this, they have a similar color scheme. I'm like, why has no one done this yet? So I went online. I looked. There was one person who had done it already, but they had done it for like a Halloween party. Like I had seen no cosplay pictures of it. So I was like, okay, if I'm doing a mashup, I prefer to do something nobody did already. Like, I'm not saying you can't do that. That's just how I roll. So I did it 1 year, and I'm telling the story how it blew up. I changed helmets because, like, the original helmet, like, you're supposed to be able to see through the whole T-visor on a Mandalorian helmet, right? Wasn't the case with that one. So I'm like, my peripheral vision is gone for like the whole time I'm walking around. So, like, fortunately, I didn't bump into anybody. Fortunately, I didn't fall down those stairs, but I was always afraid I was going to do that. So I changed the helmet. I got Django's actual dual blasters from Attack of the Clones. Basically did a whole bunch of upgrades to it, right? So I'm posting in the DragonCon group leading up to DragonCon that year. I think that was going into DragonCon 2015. So I posted a side-by-side photo of my old version and the new version. And then I put like a big old caption under it explaining what I updated and all of that. Somebody took that photo, didn't take none of the caption, just took the side-by-side photo and posted it in Reddit. And then one day my coworkers was like, dude, you're on the front page of Reddit. I'm like, Reddit, what's that?
Ooh.
And so I went on to Reddit. Like, I think I had heard of it, but never went on to it, right? So I'll go, and sure enough, I am the top post on Reddit that day. I'm like, oh. Then my dumb behind decided to go in the comments.
Oh no.
That's when I learned, if you want to keep your sanity, do not look at the comments if you go viral.
I'm sorry, Fran. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Fortunately, it wasn't nothing really crazy. It was just full of people who didn't know the difference between Jango Fett and Boba Fett. People were accusing me of just making a random costume and putting a Fett helmet on it and calling it something Fett. I'm like, first of all, y'all do know, if y'all so experts on Star Wars, you do know that's Jango and not Boba, right? A bunch of people accused me of skipping leg day because I had my calves out. I'm like, do I skip the gym altogether? Sometimes, yes. Do I skip leg day? No. But fortunately, for every bad comment I got, somebody else had come in and set them straight for me. So I never had to make any comments. So that went viral that day. And that same photo, again, that same side-by-side photo goes, like, it makes its rounds on the internet like 3 or 4 times a year. But they never tag me in it. So nobody knows it's me. They just see this side-by-side photo, and the caption at the top says, I accidentally Googled Jango Fett and I wasn't disappointed. So at least 2 or 3 times a year, like that, you'll see somebody else post it and it gets like 5-digit likes on it. But then if I post it, I get like 30, 40. Not that I really care about the likes, but it's the fact that somebody else can post my shit and it blows up. I post my stuff and nothing happens.
I've noticed that before, where somebody I was looking at just earlier today, the kids, they made up the line dance to the Law and Order SVU.
Yeah.
The original got a lot of blow up, but then like I saw it come around again just this morning, and it's some random chick who's reposted it and got like 800,000 likes, and I'm like, yo, and they tagged not nary person. And she had reposted one of them and put the real like Mariska Hargitay, like the cast that was doing it underneath it, and I'm like, she didn't even give credit to NBC, like, and everybody's loving it. It's like, it doesn't feel fair.
It doesn't. It doesn't. Like, as much as I hate the slang word fleek, the fact that the woman who made up fleek, like, everybody else is making money off of her word, and she ain't getting nothing from it.
Right. But then that's kind of par for the course for the melanin, right?
Appropriation,
100%.
Colonization.
It reminds me of that lady on TikTok, the everybody's so creative lady, and then like everybody started copying her phrase. Keith Lee and his whole what he does and how he starts his videos. Yeah, being a Black person in the world just seems to be an uphill battle.
Yeah.
But speaking of being Black in something that we probably shouldn't be Black in, we are all Black cosplayers. And like I said earlier, we all have been told or have heard the phrase, Black people don't do this, or this character isn't Black. As far as I know, every single last one of us cosplay as a character that's not traditionally Black. So I want to bring up the whole elephant in the room, if you may say. What is it like being a Black cosplayer, and what are some of the horror stories, if you want to call it that, or struggles or triumphs that you have to overcome of being a Black cosplayer? Anybody can go first.
I'll take the reign on this one. Like, this might be the first time y'all hear me cuss a little bit. So yeah, I don't give a shit, to be completely honest with you. Just us as Black people, we have been stolen from, appropriated, and a whole bunch of other terms that I can't think of. And I feel like we deserve to actually have this space to where our creativity just does not get stolen. Like, who really cares if this character is Black? At the end of the day, all of us here, like, we love anime, we love comics, and all that kind of stuff. Who are you to tell me what I can and I can't cosplay? That's the part that I don't really get about it. Because at the end of the day, like, it's all fun. Like, sure, like, we enjoy the likes and everything. We enjoy the attention. But at the end of the day, it is a fun hobby. Me personally, I don't have the problem as much as I used to, just because I cuss folk out. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Get them.
But at the same time, it is hard.
Yeah.
And it like, it always helps to like kind of have these circles like this where it is just us in there. Now, that's not to say that I don't enjoy cosplaying with a lot of like my other racial counterparts and things like that, because we have a blast. The Final Fantasy 7 shoot that me and Smoove did back in 2019, it was a whole mixing pot, and I love it like that. Like, that's how it's supposed to be.
Right.
But yeah, like, that's kind of just my little 2 cents on it. I don't really care as much. I'm just gonna do exactly what makes me happy, and I'm going to continue to encourage others, especially the ones who they look like us. Just do exactly what you want to do, and if it makes you happy and you ain't hurting nobody, do what you want to do.
Well,
I love it. That's a good answer. We already used the F word for the episode, so fudge him. I like that. Fudge him.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to take up the question?
I'll go ahead. Personally, for me, in person, I was told I look mean, so I never had nobody tell me tell me in person about anybody I cosplay that's not Black or African American. I would say this: I do have the privilege of being a male in this space, because I think women have been way more disproportionately hated on. Just
very true.
So as a male, I cannot relate to what they go through. I just know they got it a whole lot worse, because I don't. If I do the few negative I get, I really don't pay attention, because I know I killed that shit. So it's nothing you can really tell me. I would delete the comment or whatever. I just know at the end of the day, I know I did it. I know I killed it, and that's what I just tell myself. So I know it's coming, but I don't get it so often that it never been like an obstacle, or never like hit me mentally. But at the end of the day, though, I know I did a good job, and that's all I can do.
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie,
I think she's on mute.
There we go. I would say my biggest challenge, and Uwu kind of touched on it. And I will say it has gotten dramatically better over the years. It has, but cosplay is not consent. If I am wearing a sexy cosplay, I'm wearing that sexy cosplay for me. 9 times out of 10, I probably designed it and it's supposed to look like that. But that does not mean you run up, put your arm around my waist. That doesn't mean you run up to me and just automatically pick me up. That was a major issue I had, and I get it. I'm not that tall and everything. Like, I literally had one guy that we were walking through the con, He was talking to some other dude. He looked over at me and was like, dude, I bet you I can pick her up. And just randomly picks me up. So it's things like that where it's kind of like, okay, so this also proves to me that you probably could have just easily snatched me, and I'm already nervous about, people at the con as is. Or you do have people that will not always take no for an answer. And it's not everyone. It has gotten a lot better over the years. But at one point, it used to be bad, especially when they're like, well, God forbid I'm dressed like Witchblade. The automatic assumption is, oh, I know what you're here for. And no, this might all be body paint, and I'm here for a craftsmanship contest because body paint is considered craftsmanship. That could be what this is for. It's not necessarily for the nefarious reasons that you may have.
Yeah.
And everybody just keep their hands to themselves.
Right.
That would be nice. It should be told. It's one of the reasons why my husband is my handler. Because I will tell anybody, my husband's a bear. It deters a lot. It's when he walks away and has to go to the bathroom or something like that, that it's like, oh, here we go. Okay.
A fun note about your husband, he can lift me up. And that's
there's a video on Facebook of that.
Yeah, there's a picture on the internet of her husband lifting me up. I'm not light. Okay? I am not light. I'm very thick and heavy. He lifted me up without ease. I mean, like it looked like it took him no effort at all. Don't mess with that dude. Just leave it at that. Don't mess with that dude. He looks like you can push him over. He will break the bricks off you.
We'll put you through a wall. Yeah.
He is my cupcake. He is my cupcake. We'll put it that way. He is my cupcake. As far as I'm concerned, he's a cupcake. I would not recommend anybody else calling him that.
Yeah.
Now, I want to bring up something that you kind of opened my eyes to, that you said earlier. This in Nerdy Spaces series that I've been doing since we've been going live since about MomoCon has opened up my eyes a lot to a lot of what goes on behind the scenes in the Blerd community and the cosplay community. The episode we did at MomoCon, Black Women in Nerdy Spaces, where you and Joy and so many other of women on the dais opened up and said the DMs be popping, and not in the good way, when y'all started debuting cosplay, showing a little cosplay and things like that. And even I think Uwu has told me a couple of stories about things in the past. So I just want to know, cosplay is not consent, obviously. Everybody here agrees, if we're cosplaying as something, it's for us, for you to look at, not for you to touch. What has been some of the more discouraging moments of being a cosplayer, if that resonates in that way?
Me personally, I have really I want to say body dysmorphia, but I have this really bad. I used to have this really issues with I would say I can't do this cosplay character because of my size. That used to be a bit. That used to be my biggest hurdle. After a while, I just start just embracing me being a bigger guy, and because I used to always when I did Yang for Ruby, I always said that's big Yang. I used to always hate having just a big, I'm a big version of this character. I always just hated that. So I used to always say, I remember just crunched down when I did Unboxing cosplay. I lost a lot of weight and just gained muscle, and I would say I need to do this character. I gotta be in this type of shape. I do this character in this type of body, and that stopped me from cosplaying a lot of characters because I had that idea. It really recently just changed earlier this year. I just finally got over that hump, and now I'm kind of just broke those chains.
Yeah.
Definitely feel that. Oh, sure.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say to kind of piggyback off of what Papi said. Oh, wait, that sounds weird. What Uwu said. I dealt with that too, especially when I first started. I was a lot slimmer, and it's just kind of you fit in certain cosplays, and then you kind of get that in the back of your head of I don't really look exactly like that character, so like the vision is like kind of off, but I was kind of like him to where it kind of made me get into the gym a lot more. I recently gained over like 20 pounds, and I feel good. So that has like, you know, like kind of helped, and I have gotten over that hump. But there are times like at the con, on this other, I guess like this other lane, being in cosplay and having a malfunction. That shit is the worst feeling. Like
Yeah.
ever.
Yes. Yes.
I don't really deal with it as much now. I think the last time that I might have had like a really bad malfunction might have been like 2022, but it's just like the weirdest feeling, especially if it happens on the con floor and everybody's there and they see it happen.
Nope. Even worse. You're walking across the stage of competition and now it's recorded.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes.
no.
Yes. True
Worst
that.
feeling ever.
True that.
You know, when I first started, I did like I said, I did Snake Eyes my first year, and no one has ever said anything to me in person. Fortunately, I've been fortunate that nobody's ever come up to me, and I'm not even the most intimidating. At least I don't think I am. I'm not the most intimidating looking person, but fortunately, nobody's ever come straight to me with it. But I had again, this is my very first day cosplaying, and I posted a picture. One of my friends said, "Looks like Snake Eyes used to work out." I'm like, dang, really do. Now, mind you, I'm right above 200 right now. I was probably about 170-ish back then, and like a whole lot less muscle and probably a whole lot less gut back then too. So I was like, okay, I need to hit the gym. I need to bulk up. And then now I'm on the other end. So I think I'm coming back down from 221 back to like around 200 now. And I've always been like, okay, I'm not going to do a shirtless cosplay until I get my abs back, right? Then I was like, dude, you 42, you barely had abs when you was younger. Like I didn't have a gut, but the abs wasn't popping either. So I was like, that's probably not a realistic goal right there. But I was like, I had to remind myself to like, dude, you are so body positive about everybody else, but you don't give yourself that same grace, right? So one year I decided to do Sagat from Street Fighter, had my shirt off. I was like, dang, that gut's there, but you know what? I gotta practice what I preach. So if I'm gonna be body positive for everybody else, I gotta do it for me. And then Mark, you saw this one. I did the first year that I did Jax for Mortal Kombat. So after we did the big Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter shoot, I did a separate shoot with me and a friend did Jax and Sonya. So I'm walking back into the Hilton, and I'm trying to hold my stomach in, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm not wearing my insecurity on my face, but I still feel it. I get right as I get into the Hilton, I hear behind me, ooh! I'm like, what the? These 4 or 5 black aunties who was working security for the hotel, cat calling me.
And they will hype you up like no other.
They will.
Can't nobody make you feel good about yourself like a black auntie.
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, did I technically get catcalled? Yes. Do I feel good about it? Also, yes. I'm like, I guess I still look like a snack, even if I don't feel like one. But so yeah, that I mean, you could call it a bad thing, but it did. I did feel a bunch of validation from that. I was like, okay, all right. So, no fear about having the shirt off no more.
A note about that, about the you shouldn't feel bad for appreciating that they made you feel good, but also when women catcall, it tends to be complimentary as opposed to, hey, come here and sit on my lap.
This is true. This is true. Yeah. I did not get that line at all from the Munties. It was right, all admiration.
Like, yeah. And then we walk on.
yeah. Y'all move on. Some of us, not nobody on this video, but some of us don't, they don't take a no for an answer. They keep chasing, and it's like, yeah, y'all stop.
Also, I'd like to add, I made it out of stock comparing myself to other cosplayers. Just in case you see somebody that cosplay the same character as you, you can still do it. Even though I see a lot of people like, oh man, I can't go behind him. I can't cosplay behind he just crushed this character. I love this character so much, and I was like, oh, I can't go behind that. But I finally let that go. Also,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I had a moment of I don't know, costume envy and self-esteem doubt when it was last year, and Royalty Cosplay, if y'all know her, she did a young Queen Charlotte, and I was the older Queen Charlotte, and I felt old and frumpy. When we took some pictures together, I was like, oh, she's killing it, and I'm just showing up. But then,
y'all
like,
both killing it.
Thank you. And we had a lot of people say, like, y'all look so great. Y'all even look like sisters. I was like, man, maybe mother, daughter. Don't even try it. But I thought, I remember thinking, I coach. I'm a life coach in the daytime, and I coach so many people about comparing themselves and the negativity around that. And I found myself doing the exact same thing. One of the reasons I hadn't brought Rogue back was Rogue, when I did it, was right after I'd had surgery and I had lost a lot of weight just from recovery. And the pooch had come back, and so the Queen Charlotte gear was easy because you got, you know, big skirt and everything. But Rogue is making a comeback next year, and y'all gonna get whatever's under these clothes. Y'all gonna get whatever body is there.
Do that.
That's okay. That's okay. Let's see. Biggest challenge aside from potential violations. Kind of the same thing as you guys. A little bit of body dysmorphia. I harken back to Carnival Poison Ivy because that one was, especially with body image, that one was a real challenge. And on top of that, growing up as conservative as I did, especially, and I know you guys probably grew up in conservative households as well. And seeing my mom's face when she finally saw me in the costume, because my mom has seen it on the mannequin and watching me work on it the whole time, but her actually seeing me in that costume, and her church lady friends seeing me in the costume, because one of the girls from the church that I went to, her daughter saw me on stage when I won and showed it to her mom at church, and her mom recognized me and was like, oh, I know who that is. So that was kind of dealing with, the conservativeness of my family and the people that surround my family, along with just the costume itself. Because I'm not afraid to admit at this point, yes, my ass was out in that because it's a carnival costume. So yeah, that was a whole nother challenge to deal with, especially when it came to like with Smoove Cosplaya, the comments on Reddit when it came to it, there were a lot of positive ones, but also at the same time there was, well, you only won because you were half naked, or you only won because you did this, that, and the other, like stuff like that. And it really is one of those.
All of a sudden,
yeah, and it really is one of those things to where it's like I have to remember that at the end of the day, I did this for me, and no one else put the time and effort into this but me. And who the hell are you to tell me not only what to do with my money that last time I checked I earned, but also who are you to tell me what to do with my time? Since you seem to feel like you can waste and do all this time talking about me, let me go back and run my stuff. One of the favorite things in my circle that we say is, I mean, with all of this you talking, you need to be running your sewing machine and not running your mouth.
That part.
I like that.
I love that. I want to add, I know I just started cosplaying like just this year, but my biggest issue that I have had with cosplaying has just been myself. The one reason why it's taken me so long with cosplaying is because I've had a bit of this being an issue, but of that being an issue. I'm a plus size dude. I've always been comfortable within my own skin and my body, but the people around me have not always been comfortable with that. And one thing that kind of motivated me is just going to cons and seeing all these other heavy set dudes just walk around with their titties out. I'm like, I want to be like that. I just want to like not give a shit and just walk around with my titties out and just have fun.
Oh man, you should have been at the cosplay pool party then. You'd have really been in heaven.
Again, I have certain body dysmorphia issues myself, but I'm like really trying to work through it. Like, and to me, cosplaying has been one of those things that's been like one of the freest, most expressions of self-expression that I've experienced. So I'm working my way there, but I'm not quite there yet. Like I keep joking about Next year I'm bringing out the X-Men Magneto 97 cosplay with him up on the X and just with I'm promised I'm gonna bring that. And I'm gonna just let it all show. I don't care. I'm gonna pull some numbers. I don't care. I know I'm a snack. I know I'm a buffet. I'm a
I like that. I like that. Yes, friend. Yes.
But yeah, I just want to add that in. But so we can move on. Not everything is so like sad and gruesome and lonely. Not lonely, but a bummer about being a black cosplayer. There's so many great positives about being a black cosplayer, like Aquarius, like B. Cunningham. You are reaching the national and international stage with your cosplay. What has that experience been like for the both of you?
Realizing that there's like less than a handful of us and going to a costume contest and being like maybe 1 out of 4 cosplayers that walk across the stage.
Thank you.
If I'm lucky. Perfect example. The last international qualifier I went to, it was the is it the Grand Prix that's at it's the Grand Prix Sunshine qualifier at MegaCon. And when I tell you, I was the only black person that walked across that stage. It was just me. It was just me. Everybody else, I really was looking around high and low, like, okay, I know I saw y'all on the floor. Why are y'all not here?
Yeah, for me, it was Dragon Con. I didn't even realize it at first until my handler was like, yo, like you're really like the only black person here. Cause I'm like I was
I know it was 2 of us. It was 2 of us. Were you at was it FNCC or was it the animation or was it the masquerade?
I don't remember what the name of it was, but it was the one where they sent out 40 characters and you choose one and then you have to do your own interpretation of that character. It was the stage to stage one.
Yeah, so you were definitely the only one that walked across the stage on that one, because I was the only one that walked across the stage for FNCC that year.
Got you. And that caught me off guard because it's Dragon Con. So you expect it to be like a whole mixing pot. And he said that to me, and I was like, I kind of just paused and I just looked around and I'm like, dang, like I am really like the only black face here outside of him. So that kind of that was just dang, like that just really shows like that there is a, I guess you would call it like a misrepresentation.
Yeah, and the funny thing
on those stages.
And the funny thing about it is part of it is that for some reason a lot of us do not think that we are good enough to compete. And and I know you have seen it, like I have seen it. You've seen some people on the floor that you're like, why and how did you not enter? Because you would have easily blown out the best in show. Easily blown out the best in show.
Yep. Very true. Very true.
That is so fascinating. So what is it that the two of you think, since you have experienced it, that we need to do to get more of us on the national and international stage within cosplay?
I feel like it's really more of encouragement and actually showing them that no, there's actually a market out there as far as competition, and really show them just how few of us there are. I learned it really is a matter of not necessarily knowing, because honestly, as much as I've been going to Dragon Con, I did not know that I could enter into the Friday night costuming contest. And I just thought that was something that you either got invited to or it was something prestigious, because sometimes that's how they act when it comes to some of these contests, especially your international titles. They make you feel like it's super prestigious and you'll never qualify for it. Like before I even entered my first one, I was under the impression that you had to be what's considered a master level cosplayer before you could go into international competition, not realizing it's classless. So you could just be starting out, but if you're good enough, like Aquarius, you'll win. It's just a simple fact of actually entering.
Yeah, very, very true. I don't really have too much to add. She pretty much she nailed that part. I would just suggest, like us like kind of just continuing to like really put each other on. Like I don't like want to go to the whole crabs in the bucket thing, but I do feel like some of that does happen.
It's out there.
A lot of like the gatekeeping and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that if we can get that out the way and then just continue to show love, continue to put each other onto like a lot of these connections, then you can just further like our growth, really.
I have a question for the people that does competition. How much time does it take out of your con day? For example, if I go to Dragon Con, I really go to Dragon Con just to let loose and have fun and get hammered.
It depends on the contest. So if you are doing a craftsmanship contest, it's probably going to be just that night because you're just lining up and walking across the stage and they're announcing winners. If you're doing a performance cosplay, that's probably going to be like 2 days because you have a day for rehearsal and then the whole next day is dedicated to your setup and everything if you are doing what's called performance. When you think performance, think like the masquerade.
Okay.
Yeah. I think mine might have been like 3 hours, like 3 to 4 hours or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad, but it does depend though. She is definitely right about that.
That's perfect. That actually kind of brings me to my next topic because I want to talk about the craftsmanship that goes into the cosplay. Like Stephanie, I have literally seen you at your sewing machine sewing away. I have seen other cosplayers hacking away at EVO foam. I've seen other people play post their progress pictures and things like that. So I want to get into the topic of crafting cosplay, buying cosplay, closet cosplay, things like that. We all entered cosplay in our own various ways and found our lanes. I love closet cosplay. I love just being able to go into my closet, find something, and just becoming a character. Stephanie, Aquarius, and so many other cosplayers I know probably have stacks of EVO foam in their house somewhere right now, or fabrics laying around, or got 3D printers going somewhere in the background, which, by the way, the best thing for cosplay next to Black people cosplaying has been 3D printing. I just want to say that there. But let's talk about crafting and creating cosplay because Black people are very creative when it comes to cosplaying, especially like trying to get around with challenges like body sizes and hair textures and skin color and so many other things. I don't even know where to begin. Let's just go crafting. I know Stephanie, Aquarius, I know you guys craft a lot. What is it cheaper to craft your cosplay?
It really depends on what it is. So when it comes to cosplay, if you're going to buy it, it's convenient, but it can be expensive, especially if it is commissioned. The trade-off when it comes to making your own stuff is the time and trial and error, because I could easily purchase feathers for Poison Ivy that cost me, Lord, I don't even want to think about how much the feathers cost me. or I could have took the hours upon hours it would have took to craft individual foam feathers that look like ostrich feathers. I didn't feel like doing that. I just wanted to glue my feathers on and go. So I bought feathers and glued them versus sitting at my desk with the EVA foam and my X-Acto knife, making these tiny little incisions and shaking them to see if it's going to flow like an actual feather.
Wow.
Me personally, I think that too. It always depends like on the cosplay. In my case, it's been a lot cheaper because like I mentioned earlier, back in like 2016, 2015, and I was buying all these suits. A suit might be like $200, and then I have to buy like the armor pieces for it, and it all like pretty much like adds up. So I could spend like $500 on an intricate suit. Now, since it's like a more well-renowned hobby, is getting even more pricey. So it really just depends. Now, if I make my stuff, it might be like half of that. Like I could do, like I want to say for my Bakugo bill, I might have spent maybe $200 on the entire thing, but you couldn't tell because it looked like a $1,500 costume.
Mm-hmm.
So it just like kind of depends. Of course, going like the EVA foam route, that's gonna be a lot cheaper than like going with 3D printing. I got into resin around last year, and I got my second sponsorship. And resin, a typical bottle can be easily $60, and that's for only 1 kilogram. So if you waste resin, like that's like you're burning your entire wallet. So you kind of have to be careful, and you have to run tests and all that kind of stuff. It's like kind of like just playing around with things and finding your niche. And as soon as you find that niche, then you expand on it by trying other materials.
Now, for any one of y'all that craft and build and sew and create your own cosplays, where did you learn how to do all that? I'm assuming YouTube University was hot and popping in them days.
Yeah, mine was the YouTube University and just trying stuff, really, just trial and error.
Yeah.
Pretty much the same. YouTube University, and then I also come from 3 generations of seamstresses. So if I had sewing questions or anything like that, I always had my mom or my grandma to reach out to.
Okay.
For me, the craftsmanship that I did was going into the wigs and the headpiece that I had for Queen Charlotte. And that was a combination of knowing how to do my own natural hair and having a vision for what I thought it could look like. Because I knew I couldn't do what they do in the actual show, because that's like 7 wigs and like 40 pounds.
Wow.
Like the lady that plays Queen Charlotte said she had to have like a back brace and all that stuff. We ain't doing all that. But knowing how to braid and how to cornrow. I did crochet twists to make the front part so I could pull it back and up into the rest. And then the wig, it was like 2 wigs in there that would stack on top of each other. And then I had to incorporate a crown and some more pieces in it. And then it had to come down and I wanted the hair to be attached to the jewelry. So all of this little pieces, like Aquarius said, and shout out to Aquarius, because I'm February 7th. But
yes, thank you.
Like you said, some of it was just trying things. I think I played around with how that wig was going to work from late July until Dragon Con. So like a couple of months of testing different things. It all fell off a couple times. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out to the people that do wig costuming as well, because that is a big piece of it. If you have hair, like my plan for Rogue when she comes back is going to have some interesting hair choices.
I can't wait for your Rogue. Like I kid you not, that is going to be the cosplay you're known for, and it's going to be dope. Like you look so good as Rogue. Like whatever cosplay emergency you was having was worth having because you was killing it as Rogue. So bring it back, fix it, whatever you got to do, bring it back.
Do we have any pictures? Because I'm not sure if I've seen it yet.
Oh yeah, James, if you can find, I know it's not in my phone because I just deleted a bunch of old pictures. But yeah, James, if you're in the background, if you're listening, if you can find a picture of Miss Joy as Rogue, and we can bless the world with that image, because I think the world needs that right now. That would be perfect. But I do want to bring up a question that was in the comments. Hold on, let me find it again. The question was, what's something that you didn't know until you started cosplaying? And I want to actually go ahead and take the jump on that because I'm the newbie, but because I did 10 years of cosplay photography, and then going to like my first cosplay shoot where I'm not the photographer and I can be the cosplayer, I have learned that I need to be very quick about how long I have y'all hold y'all poses. Because
you don't say.
And if I'm sitting there doing this and I'm like, can y'all hurry up, just take the damn picture, then I know as a photographer, I need to be more expungent about how I operate. Like, I'm sitting there and I'm going through different settings. I'm checking different lighting things and different situations, angles. And it does take time, especially like if you got like 600 people in front of you. But if you're one of those 600 people, if you're the cosplayer, like you can't hold that pose forever. I don't know how in shape some of y'all are, but like I was struggling during the Black Geek shoot.
Yeah, we don't be stretching before we do these
there
shoots either.
sometimes. There you go. That
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I'm bringing that back, and actually, I want, since that was kind of a store-bought outfit, I wanted to. I was inspired by B. Cunningham to do kind of a mashup, and so off of that.
Tell me you're gonna bring this to the photo shoot in MomoCon. Please tell me you're gonna bring it.
If I can get it ready by then, but similar to the Carnival Poison Ivy, I wanted to do a reggae or a Rasta robe. And so add a little bit of the Jamaican feel to the color scheme.
Yes.
And do like some braids, like red braids instead of just the red wig and everything. So I'm getting actual real red micro braids is a commitment. So we'll be rocking that for the week going into and coming out of Dragon Con. So but I just got to talk to Dean about the concept and the clothing and the foundational things that go under it. So.
It came out good.
It did. I was really happy with that, and so I'm hoping to run that back, and maybe a couple other things. That's the other thing is that I remember where people would have one costume for the whole con, and you might see them in that costume on like day 3 and be like, "Yo, stay over there. Well, let's take a picture, but you over there because you ain't took the stuff." But one of the other benefits of having costuming services and costumes themselves available, since this is more mainstream now, is being able to switch it up, and so and having better materials and better ease of wear, so you don't have to spend half a day trying to get into something and then the other half trying to take it off. The last few costumes that I've worn, I've been able to get dressed in and out of by myself, which is a big deal.
Yes.
Very much so, because I need help to get into everything.
Not everything, but most things.
Mark, what was the question again?
The question that was asked was, what's something in cosplaying that you didn't learn until you started cosplaying? And my example was cosplay photography, but everyone's there you go. Seems to have their own different take on it, and everybody's welcome to answer as they please.
Okay, so two quick things. One for me, I'm kind of grateful that I had this misconception because it did motivate me to improve my my costume, like for me. But going into it thinking that it was a go big or go home thing, and I realized that like the pressure that I got from myself seeing everybody else's cosplays, I'm like, I can't come half stepping. I got to come with it, right? But usually that go big or go home thing comes from people who don't cosplay. It comes from people who are just spectating, and they're like, oh, well, the only good cosplayers are the ones that go all out. Like if you don't bring your A game, you can't come, blah, blah, blah. That really scares people away. And it's like, no, just do what you can do. And, learning to be, I know for me, like, I don't like I do trial and error, but I don't like doing trial and error. I want myself to be perfect the first time, which I'm pretty sure everybody else does too. But like, I don't want to have to go through the trial and error because that means that's more time, that's more money. Like mistakes cost money. So I want to get myself right the first time, but I've also learned that you have to be okay with good enough for the moment. Does it look good enough right now? Yes. Go hit the con floor with that. You can there's many people who have upgraded their stuff many times over time. And like my Snake Eyes, my very first one, still isn't quite at like exactly where I want it yet. And I've been doing that one since 2012. So it's kind of on the bench right now, but it will come back as its perfect form soon. So that, and then Jordan kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. You mentioned like, you got that person who's been wearing the same costume all weekend.
Yeah.
You can do that if you watch that thing. If you take care of it, you can do it. But if you can, but the thing that reminded me of was my first couple of years. Like I went to Dragon Con 2012. I didn't know about any other cons, so I did my next con was Dragon Con 2013, and the weeks the couple of weeks after 2012, I was like, okay, what am I doing next? What am I doing next? I had cosplay on the brain. And then procrastination set in. And then that led to me doing Snake Eyes again the next year. And leading up to it, I was like, dang, is this allowed? Can I do the same costume 2 years in a row? So fortunately, I had a coworker who had been going to Dragon Con for years before me, and she kind of eased my fears with that. And she was like, first of all, nobody cares. No, there is no cosplay police out there who is checking to see if you wore this at the last con or this same con last year. If anything, people care in a good way. Like people, if they see you in this costume, they want to see you in it again, especially if they missed it. If they only saw the pictures of it, they want to see you in person in it the next year. Or like, hey, this person is dressed up as someone from one of my favorite fandoms. I want to make sure I'm wearing something that matches them the next time I see them so we can get pictures together. So people care in a good way. But for the most part, people, nobody's checking you to see if you wore this same thing last year at Dragon Con, or if you wore this at MomoCon and now it's Atlanta Comic Con like just last month and you wore the same thing again. Nobody cares. Yeah. As long as you keep it fresh, that's the only thing we really care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That antibacterial spray come in handy.
Right.
Antibacterial spray, Febreze, vodka.
Yeah, anything that kills germs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for any cosplayers out there, anyone who costumes that doesn't know that, please have a mixture of vodka and water if you're trying to clean that costume and you're not trying to ruin too many details on it.
I'm so happy you. No, go ahead, Sue.
No, I was just gonna say. Also, when you get done with the con, I know we all like to get home from vacation and not unpack. Don't
unpack. Please unpack.
Yeah, please do unpack, because I was a couple of years ago. I made the mistake of leaving my stuff in one bag for I think about 2 weeks. Fortunately, everything was still salvageable, but barely. I was like, never again, never again.
Yeah, you forget that stuff is slightly damp, and that's just a whole world of hurt.
Yeah. So now,
even if you don't take it out and like immediately put it all in the laundry, just take it all out.
Yeah.
So it can air dry or whatever. I mean,
or take it to the cleaners. Take it to the cleaners. Right. Somebody there will know what to do with it or how to clean it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So not only do I make sure I don't wait that long to unpack again, but as soon as I take something off, Lysol all up and down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
exactly.
So that's such a great tip. Literally the next thing I was going to ask was, since everyone is so experienced in cosplaying, what are some tips and tricks that any of you can let some of the younger baby cosplayers like myself know? Like for me, for example, I had difficulties going from starting the morning in one cosplay and then going to another cosplay, just because I had to go back to the hotel, shower and change and get everything ready. And I was like, no, if I cosplay multiple cosplays in one day, I need to have rules to how I do it. So what are some tips and tricks that you can offer to any baby cosplayer out there, or even advanced cosplayers who may not even know that there's some life hacks to cosplaying?
You know what?
Get a handler. Get a handler.
Okay.
If it is your best friend, if it is a partner, a family member, somebody you know, get a handler, especially if you are handling multiple cosplays with multiple props.
Yeah. And also I would suggest buying portable what would you call it? A bin. Especially if you do like a bunch of armor builds, then you're gonna want those because it makes transportation like that much easier.
Yep.
And then if you're doing a lot of cloth and material, just one of the little travel sewing kits that you can get from any CVS or whatever, a thimble, a needle, and some thread, and doing quick repairs. And if that fails, stapler. That works in a pinch if you just got to get something back together, and it's not going to tear again. You know, like if you a hem came out, or something that was split up too high, staple that right on back, and then fix it for real when you get home. But sewing kit, stapler. And for a lot of the women out there, if your costume requires a particular type of shoe that is not conducive to walking all through the con, just get you flip-flops or something similar in the same color scheme as your costumes as traveling shoes.
Mhm.
Or make a matching pair of tennis shoes like I did for Poison. Because remember, them heels for Poison were like 6.5 inches, and they were for pictures and competition only.
Right, but it also makes sense. It makes really good sense for your costume because when you're playing Moss in Carnival, you do have on sneakers with your with your costume, so that made perfect sense. But yeah, I had the same thing. One of the things I wore this past year had a giant red like poofy tulle skirt, and luckily for me, I had a pair of running shoes that were the exact same color. So that became the outfit because I was like, what I'm not going to do is these heels on these uneven streets of Atlanta. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of that, one thing I would say, don't be so married to accuracy.
Yeah.
We all love accuracy, but I will. This is a hill I will die, resurrect with the Dragon Balls, and die again on. Accuracy is overrated.
Unless you are competing.
I didn't
if you
say
are
it's
not
bad.
competing, then you are right. Fuck accuracy if you are not competing.
Yeah, I'm not saying accuracy is bad. I love accuracy, but accuracy is not the be all end all. So going back to comfort, like when I do Sagat, like, you know, Sagat does not wear shoes. So I was like, okay, maybe I'll use flip-flops because I'm not going to be walking around the con with no. I don't like being barefoot anyway. And I don't even like wearing flip-flops, but I'm like, okay, maybe I'll do that for this costume. And my flip-flops aren't comfortable. Like I always feel like I'm not secure. Like I'm just as someone who's not used to wearing them, right? So this year I said, you know what, forget it. I'm gonna rock these black and red gradient Nikes that I got, and I'm gonna dare y'all to say something about it. If you want to say something about it, pay for some really comfortable flip-flops for me. And that's what I say for anybody. Like no one who is not financing your cosplay gets to say something about your cosplay.
Amen to that. It's actually very funny that you mentioned that about the whole barefoot thing, because that makes me think of a very creative solution that one of my friends did. So what they did, they took some neoprene, they made it the exact shape of their foot, edged it and sewed it properly, and made sure that the binding on it also matched the color of their foot. Took spirit gum and placed it on the bottom, and somehow, surprisingly, it stayed the whole day.
Wow.
Wow.
That's very creative. That's too much for me, but that's creative.
That's what's up there. That's awesome. I love that.
You know, that same thing. Sorry, about that same thing for, like, you know, we all want to take pictures, right? How many times you've been in a costume and you can't do this on your phone because you got cut hold of things?
Yes.
No one will care. And if they do, like, y'all gonna get these fingers because I need to take pictures. Y'all gonna get these pockets because I need to have my keys and my room key, right? So y'all gonna get pockets, holes in my fingers, whatever.
I also would say your bathrooms, you know, make sure your costume can, you know, just be mindful, like when you have to use the bathroom,
functionality.
How easy you can get in and out, because that's it been times that I seriously, like, I would rather just walk back to the hotel room and just take everything off, then to put it back on, instead of doing that in the middle of a con and people's walking in. And you try to take their business. So I always say, just, you know, you're supposed to stay hydrated, but just be mindful of what your outfit can do when you're at the restroom and how you can, you know, handle your business.
Yeah. Man, you just gave me a bad flashback to was it a Ranger stop one year? I wore my Napa because I think the Vegeta's voice actor was there. Try to go use the bathroom. You know, Saiyan armor has those wide shoulders, right? I must have had the narrowest stall because I'm not going to do that at the urinal. I got to go in the stall for that. The stall was too narrow, so I had to angle my body this way and like stand over the toilet and handle my business, because I'm like
you had to pee on the bias.
The stall? Who makes the stall this narrow?
That's crazy.
That was an adventure.
Wow. Do it for the love of the cosplay, though.
Yeah. How many times do we sit here and say, dang, why do we do this to ourselves? And then we still do it anyway.
Yep.
Life's for the love of the cosplay.
The love of the craft.
For the love of cosplay.
And I love how, like, you mentioned that about like that accuracy is not everything, because that's so true. Because me personally, I honestly feel like that it stifles all of your creativity.
Yeah.
Because like you're trying to like just kill yourself, like you are stressing yourself out.
I did make it all in the toilet. I didn't miss.
Yeah, like you want it to look exactly like this, and I'm like, you could like just rack your brain and then just come up with like something that could be even more creative.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in every cosplay that I do, like 98.9% of them, pretty much, it always has to have like my signature look. Like I put my DNA into each cosplay that I do, because I just wanted to look completely different from everybody else's.
Exactly.
I like that. I like that you add your signature look to whatever you're cosplaying. And I'm gonna be honest, like in the case of Aquarius, Smoove, Uwu, B Cunningham, I've seen a lot of y'all cosplay, and I know when it except for Smoove that one time, but I know when I see y'all in cosplay that is y'all. Sorry, Smoove. You went from one cosplay to being Archangel and completely lost track of who you were as a person. So when you looked at me at that one Dragon Con, I was like, "Oh, can I get your picture?" You just like, you know who I am? Like, no, I don't. Picture.
Yeah. You're not used to seeing me blue, so
I'm not used to seeing you blue. So forgive me for mis-cosplaying you.
It's all good.
But yeah, that actually brings up something interesting. Being mis-cosplayed, we are all Black cosplayers, and I'm sure you have been cosplaying something, and someone come up to you and said like, "Oh my God, you're cosplaying as something you're not cosplaying as." So have any of you had that experience, or this character is in Black moment, anything like that?
I had a child call me an orange peacock.
Lord Jesus. No.
At Viva Las Vegas, they thought I was an orange peacock, a very sparkly orange peacock.
Kids are kids. They're gonna say the darndest things.
Mark, I think you've witnessed one of them, maybe. So my Rude from Final Fantasy VII, the original one. Now the original costume is dark blue. It's just a dark blue suit, right? Even when I'm with other Final Fantasy cosplayers, even when I'm with my partner Reno, I never get, and I'm okay with being misidentified, but it does get a little annoying sometimes. Like I would get called again, bald head, shades, blue suit, dark blue suit, again, blue suit, and I get called Men in Black. I get called Hitman. I get called Cobra Bubbles from Lilo and Stitch. So when his new version came out, the one that you shot would be at Dragon Con, it was like the all black tie, like all black everything, right? Chain, belt chain, all of that. I'm like, yes, I'm finally, even if I don't get called Rude, I'm not gonna get called something else. They started calling me Morpheus. Where's my trench coat? Where's my red and blue pill? Like I can't win.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you, even though you told me who you're cosplaying as, even though I'm well aware of what Final Fantasy is, when I was shooting you and when I was editing those pictures, I was like, this is so weird. Why are you cosplaying as Men in Black in their Final Fantasy? It was so I'm sorry.
Say it out loud.
Hey, but it happens. It does happen.
I can deal with the misidentification. What really annoys me is when you correct the person and they act like you're the bad guy for correcting them. It don't matter how respectful and how tactful I am. Somebody be like, "Well, come on, just don't I get points?" I'm like, "Points for what? We're not playing a game. Like, what are you talking about?" But oh, come on, man, I was close. I mean, I'm not going to tell you was right and you wasn't. Like, I'm not mad that you got it wrong, but I'm not going to let you think you was right. But now you're mad that I won't let you think you was right.
Oh, you could do Dr. Manhattan, though.
That is true.
Do the Yaya Machine version. Yeah.
The what?
Now, I do want to ask this. So this was a topic that I heard a couple of people talking about this year's of Black Geeks of Dragon Con, and that's that they're happy that we as a community, as a Blerd community, have moved on from calling ourselves the black version of a specific character, and now we're just allowing ourselves to be the character. So I want to talk about that a little bit. Does anybody have any experience of being called the black version of a character, or do you specifically cosplay as a black version of said character?
I did Thorkelf in Villain Saga, and I actually was okay with being called a black version of that because it was really nice to see black people was happy, like fans of black fans of Villain Saga was so happy to see me cosplay a character from that as being a black person. So in terms of setting an example, in terms of being a representation of an anime, of a character that a lot of people say they don't see cosplay already, they seen a black guy do it first, was just seeing how well that was received. I think it all depends on where it's coming from and how it's being received. Because why would the Dream Con and everybody was hyped about it, because you just don't see that character get cosplay often, and seeing a black person did it. It kind of just, it boosted my self-esteem and made me realize I made the right decision. Plus, I love the character anyway. So from that aspect, I did enjoy it. I did Yang for Ruby. Well, I guess it's kind of the same thing when black Ruby fans would see me and they see Ruby is Yang is a woman too, so I'm gender bending and changing the race at the same time. So appealing to those type of audience and crowds, I do enjoy, but not everybody have the sincere, not everybody have the right state of mind when it comes to adding black in front of that cosplay. But fortunately for me, majority of my experiences have been good.
I would say for me, it's kind of like two sides of the coin. On the negative side, it's mostly like online, because let's be honest, people feel hella comfortable behind a keyboard, but they want
internet gangsters.
The face. Yeah, so I've gotten some of those. Oh, he is like the N-word version of Robin. Like, I've gotten those comments in the past and everything. But I guess that the positive side of it, when I went to BlerdCon in 2019, that was the first time that I cosplayed Cloud Strife. And I guess like that, you don't really see like too many black clouds. So I think I was walking through the dealer's room and I could hear like a lot of women in there, like, oh my God, like, man, it's a black cloud here. And I was kind of shocked by that, because I didn't know if there was like a lot of black guys out here who they were cosplaying Cloud. I only did it because that's one of my favorite characters from my favorite video game. So it kind of just felt good to get the reception from people who they look like me.
Let me know next time you do Cloud. I'll do Tifa with you, because that's the easy cosplay.
So I actually just did it for I did the Advent Children version this past Dragon Con.
Nice.
And my girlfriend was Sephiroth.
Oh, that's what's up. Sephiroth is my favorite villain, love to hate. I never got over it. I'm still not over what he did to Aerith. It's 2025. I will never forgive him.
Nor should you be.
By the way, Aquarius, your girlfriend, when I saw y'all in the Gold and White Ranger, and I got that little interview with y'all, like chef's kiss. More of that, please. More of that.
Yes.
Thank you. Like that is probably, that has to be my favorite cosplay that I have done with her, outside of Gambit and Rogue, because that was our very first couples cosplay, and that was Dragon Con last year, and the reception for that was crazy.
Oh wait, I remember that. Okay.
No, y'all did that.
Yeah, it was nice.
Thank you. Yeah, like we had a blast working on that, and it was the first time like that she really got to see me craft like in person. So it was almost like an intimate experience as well.
We could totally do a Final Fantasy VII shoot. That would be awesome.
That would be. I'd probably be a summon spirit.
Yes. Which one? Which one?
Blerdogaphy.
Let's see who we got. We got Shiva. We got who else
Shiva.
is in that
Yeah,
one?
Shiva.
It's
That's what I meant
probably
when I
gonna be Shiva because that's the
Yeah.
first one that came to mind.
Yeah.
That's what I meant when I said Blerdogaphy, and I was like, well, that wasn't her name. But yeah, Shiva.
I would love to do a Bahamut one day. That
Ooh.
Mm.
Yes, bring the dragon. Bring the dragon.
That's gonna be too expensive or take up too much storage space, but yeah.
It's cosplay. Cosplay is always expensive. Well, mostly expensive.
And yeah.
Hey, but we all have adult money, so we can cosplay however.
Yes.
I mean, if it's any consolation, I didn't really get into cosplay until I got adult money because I was not about to afford all of those materials.
Yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, it's not. It's not the most expensive hobby, but it is an expensive hobby. You know, unless you find a way to make it pay for itself by, you know, if you're winning contests that come with money or people are paying you for commissions and stuff, or even for what do you call it? Public engagements where, you know, you out there being Spider-Man or whatever. Like if it's making money for you, that's one thing. But for me, it doesn't make me any money. And so it's just it is my hobby, you know.
Yeah.
Joy, you
I wanted to ask
me. No, go ahead, Joy. Go ahead.
I gave you an idea for what?
For the sequel to this very episode, instead of doing cosplaying while black, the next episode will be the business of cosplaying. Because I do want to ask everyone about that, but we got like 10 minutes left, so I'm going to save that for the next episode. But go ahead.
I was going to ask everybody. I know this year we did Sinners, and it was me. I was Annie. My friend was Mary. And then we had Stack and Smoke with us as well. And we walked around as a set before. And then we found all of these remix and all the banjo people and everything and a couple of cornbreads and stuff. And it became, you know, like you've seen the Star Wars group cosplay, but usually it's a bunch of people who cosplay as Star Wars that show up on the stairs together. But we were like a traveling troupe. And I'm wondering, have y'all done any like group cosplay with other people to show up intentionally as a set? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to. I really want to.
So
you've probably seen it. It was the last thing that we did that went viral. The Vegas Showgirl Scouts. When I did Viva Las Vegas, a couple of other girls were like, "Hey, I want to be a Vegas Showgirl Scout," and we ended up doing that group for this past MomoCon.
Nice.
That was nice. That was really nice. Y'all ladies did such an amazing job with that one.
Yeah, I used to be in this group called Legends of 80s Wrestling. So we used to always dress up as like all the wrestlers from like the late 80s. I was new to the group. It's funny story how that happened. We had a lot of the people in that group were also in my G.I. Joe costuming group. So one of my friends did $1 Million Man, and I was like, okay, I want to be down with this. Would y'all be cool if I did Virgil? And it was a resounding yes. And then one of the guys came up and said, you know what? We was going to ask you to be Virgil, but we didn't want to we didn't want you to be like the token black person. So we was kind of scared to ask you, which I appreciated. Cause like, that goes around a lot, you know, a lot of us get asked to be the token black person in a group. So it hit me here to know that they was like, that they were sensitive about that. They was like, okay, we want you to do that, but it was my own idea. Like I came to them about it. So it wasn't like they just had me be the token person, but we would do that. We would all meet like over by the, we would meet at the Hyatt and then just make our way through the Hyatt, through the Marriott, through the Hilton. And of course it would take us like hours to get through because everybody's like stopping us. It's that slow reaction. Like somebody will see one of us. Oh, that's Macho Man. Wait a minute. And it's that slow sweep. And then they realize everybody's there. And so it was always fun shutting down the con. We haven't done it since before the pandemic, but it was always fun doing that.
Me personally, since I have my fighting game video game character cosplay, I really wanted to do the Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat cosplay shoot and the all fighting game video shoot, but I had panels and other shoots during that time.
Yeah.
So since I cosplay as Bob now, and I like that I put my little black spin to it.
I love the do-rag. That was dope.
Yes.
I wish like that was an original idea, but I saw it the year before when a group of cosplayers came to the Black Geek shoot and they were Dragon Ball Z super characters like Goku Black, and instead of having purple hair, he had pink hair, he had a pink do-rag on. I was like, that's so creative. I'm doing that. I'm stealing it. But
the thing is, though, is what I feel like a lot of gatekeeping cosplayers fail to realize is, one, that's how we keep cosplay alive, and two, that is how we figure out how to build our cosplays when we bounce off of each other like that.
Right.
And I honestly do feel like that is something that has been lost in the cosplay community lately, because you start hearing things about cosplay plagiarism, and it's like, who is cosplay plagiarism when it's not even your character that you're cosplaying? How is it plagiarism? I feel like that could be a whole nother episode.
Nobody
do not let me get on this soapbox.
Right, like when I do my Napa, like I'm not the first person to put a Chaosu on my back. Like I saw somebody else do that. It's just, I haven't seen anybody else do it since then. But
to be fair, you are known for your Napa cosplay with Chaosu on the back. Like that's one of your very well known cosplays.
That's my favorite. Is definitely
appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, I will have to say that's probably one of my favorites of yours too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, nobody copyrights an idea, like I do mashups all the time.
That part.
I know that somebody is going to do a mashup I've already done. It's gonna happen. Like somebody else has already done. Somebody else has done Django Fett already. Somebody else has already done Jules Windu. I mix Jules Winfield and Mace Windu together. Somebody else has already done that. I'm like somebody there's a Prince cosplayer who does the Prince of All Saiyans. Like somebody multiple people have done that after him. So it's like who's to say that multiple people in these different parts of the internet can come up with the same idea and just happen to not see somebody else do it. Like yes, I mean it's gonna happen. Yeah.
Like I didn't see your Django Fett, but like when you said when you said Django Fett, my first thought was, ooh, he could mix that with the Django and that would be cool. And you were like, yeah, that's what I did. And I'm so glad I didn't say it out loud earlier.
Smoove, also like your Wu-Tang Mace Windu cosplay mashups. Like those mashup cosplays is my favorite. Yes.
I kind of shot myself in the foot with that one because it was really supposed to be Jam Master Jedi.
But yeah.
And I got the Windu because I was like, hey, it's matching the color scheme, black and purple. But because of the Windu, people thought I was doing Mace Windu as like an old school hip hop type thing. And I was like, okay, I see where I fucked up. Okay. So when I did the remix of it, when I did a black and white version, when I did a black and red version, I was like, okay, let me just do something else hip hop related. So my black version, I did it's a picture of it's a shirt that has Yoda, but he's DJing on the front. And then the black and red one, that's the Sith version that I have. So it's a picture of Darth Vader with some 5 finger rings and it says Dark Side on his fist. And then I had the same thing, Dark Side on my fist as well. So I was like, okay, let me not make this specific to somebody the next time I do it. So yeah, I was like, okay, y'all got that. I get why. First of all, it's a created character, so I'm not so pretentious to think that somebody's gonna know the name of my made up character without me telling them, right? So I was like, all right, cool. Somebody gonna call me Hip Hop Mace Windu. I get it. It's fine. Yeah.
So we're about to end. I do have a couple of more questions for each of you. I do see that there's a question in the chat from Bobby. Do any of you have any advice for someone who is shy and wants to cosplay for the first time?
Yeah. Photo shoots would help break the ice. If you can find a photo shoot you can go to, that breaks a lot of ice to meet people. That's where I met most of my cosplay friends at.
Yeah.
Also, on piggybacking on the photo shoot thing, one thing that I know helped one of my friends was to do cosplays that had masks.
I was just
especially being camera shy, so you're not worried about facial expression. All you have to do is pose.
Agreed.
I would say if you have a group of friends who they already cosplay, go with them because you're gonna feel like more of an embracement if you go to a con with people that are doing the exact same thing as you.
Okay, the Supreme Attorney is demanding her question be asked. So, Supreme Attorney.
I mean, for the makeup part, the not safe method, if you want to keep it from running in the sun and you know you're not going to have it on for more than an hour, set it with hairspray. You can dance, you can splash water on it, you can sweat, set it with hairspray. But that's only if you're not going to be in it for that long.
And then the other question was, where do you find a group of people to cosplay? Did you go to Black Geeks of Dragon Con this year? Like, you don't have to know them all really well. Just be like, hey, anybody out here want to do this?
Or ask in your Discords. If you're honestly, if you're in the con Discords, you can ask in the Discords if anybody wants to join your group cosplay.
Yep. Exactly. So there you go.
But yes, hairspray. I have tried it. It's tried and true. You just do not want to have it on your face for more than an hour.
Start to break out.
Well, I don't know if you'll break out. I know my skin feels like it can't breathe, but I don't know about the breakup part because I don't go past an hour.
That's a really good tip, though.
Good tip. So we are almost out of time. I want to go ahead and propose the last question in the form of like this. So, excuse me. I want everyone. I'm gonna start with Stephanie. I want you to introduce yourself. I mean, tell everybody where you are, where they can find you at on the internet, and answer this last question. And the last question is, what is the one cosplay you want to do that you haven't done yet?
That's a good question.
What are we starting with?
We're starting. You start out by just reintroducing yourself and telling everybody where they can find you at on the internet, your social medias. And the question is, what is the cosplay you haven't done yet?
Well, I'll start. So with me, you can find me on all platforms at b.Cunningham Cosplay. And you can also hear me belt out a couple of Toku fan covers and regular anime fan covers on the Blue Storm Entertainment channel on YouTube. As far as a cosplay I want to do that I haven't done yet, there was a sketch from the Met Gala that Bob Mackie did for Cher that she never wore and was never brought to fruition, and it was called The Queen of the Unicorns. That is the cosplay I want to do.
That'd be awesome. Oh, me. So you can find me, my name right here, Joyride08 on all the social medias. I think Instagram, Threads, and I believe TikTok under A Moment of Joy, but don't go there. And the cosplay that I want to do that I haven't done yet is Ursula the Sea Witch.
Nice.
I'll sing along with it too.
Let me know if you need help with that one.
I need help with that one.
I got you. You coming to camp, right? You coming to cosplay camp?
Yeah, it's later this month, right?
No, it's in December. Cosplay camp is in December.
December 15th?
I know I put it on my calendar.
It's in the chat. It's in the chat. Well,
yeah,
not this chat.
no, but yeah, December 14th. I got it in my calendar.
Yes.
All day. Yeah, I'll be there.
Go ahead.
December 14th, we're at Challenges, Games, and Comics, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to Challenges tomorrow. So another thing, when we talk about building community, I'm really excited about, and I want to share how awesome he is. I don't know if he wants to get back into doing tattoos or not, but we did an interview with Dan Flores, DTM, and he's going to do some artwork for me tomorrow. So I'll be getting a tattoo tomorrow from him.
Nice.
At Challenge.
Oh, I'm off tomorrow. What time? I might hit you up later.
I'm going up there at 10. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Uwu, where can everybody find you on the internet? And what's the one cosplay you haven't done yet that you want to do?
Papi 760. All socials. I'm primarily a streamer for gaming, so gaming content. Check me out. I entertain you on that aspect. Lubu from Dynasty Warriors is like my top. I can pull off a good Lubu. That's hopefully will be my 40th birthday coming up real soon in a couple of years. So I will definitely want to do that time. Oh yeah.
I promise you, it's not that bad over here. It's not.
It's not.
No.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Middle age is awesome.
Okay. Smoove.
All right, y'all can find me everywhere at Smoove Cosplaya and at M Abernathy VO. So that's on all the social medias. I'm not going to share my bucket list one because I'm not against people doing the same cosplays, but this one thing, if somebody beat me to it, I'm gonna be heartbroken. So I'm not sharing it. I will instead share one that has been on the back burner for a long time. Me and Dominican Night Cosplay doing Harlem Heat from WCW.
Okay.
So it's gonna happen at some point.
I am Aquarius taught me everywhere on socials except for Twitter. I think my handle is Aquarius TM. And I would have to say the T60 armor, the power armor from Fallout. That's something that I really want to build.
Oh, speaking of which, you going to New Vegas Day next month?
I'm not sure yet. I'm prepping to go to Tokyo in November, so I'm not sure. I'm just figuring it out right now.
Fair enough.
Perfect. It was so fun having every single one of y'all on. For me, I am Mark. This has been Blerdkast live, and you can find me everywhere on my social media networks under Blerdography, under all social media platforms. And the one cosplay I really want to do, I've only done 2, but I really want to do like a real Power Ranger build, like an actual suit of armor. I'm gonna find somebody who will craft it or build it for me. The helmets are like $800 by themselves, yet alone the whole cosplay. So I'm gonna get a real Power Ranger cosplay. The one I have is just an outfit, but I really gonna get it. Ooh, the Dino Megazord. I'm gonna figure it out. But I need to get some more adult money up. Speaking of adult money, if you want to become a channel member and help me with that fantasy goal of having a Megazord cosplay, you can do so by becoming a channel member today for as low as $2. Yes, Supreme Attorney, need that money. You can become a channel member and see extra content, get early access to videos, get members only live. What we did last Monday that accidentally went live was hilarious. So please go back and check that out. Supreme Return is hilarious. And so many fun, wonderful people. If you want to meet friends, that's the place to go meet some friends at, and it only costs you $2 a month. And next week I'll have a very special episode. I won't be live, but I will have an episode next Monday. So please come back and join us for then. And the next episode of Blerdkast Live will be October 20th, the 20th, whatever. Queer People, Nerdy Spaces Part 2. Got some fun guests for that one, and have a very special surprise at the end of the month. Well, I'm going to save that for 2 weeks from now to announce that one. But this has been Blerdkast Live. If you haven't, keep cosplaying, because the cosplay is that when Black people cosplay, good things happen. So keep it going forward. Until then, indeed. I'll see y'all next time. Take it easy.
Appreciate you.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can't keep history on the shelf. If they won't tell it, we will. If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then, when they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves the Republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. No regard for all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So if we put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system. Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe as a part of their ongoing war with Asia. Used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. Never cover all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell. Even if we have to ourselves, can keep history on the shelf. If we won't tell it, we will.